Where's my, oh, it's the second slide. Okay.
If you want, I can switch it.
Yeah, switch it. Now, you know what, John? That'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Come on up, guys. You're with me. Okay, well, yeah, you don't want to. Now, if you stand next to the screen, you'll be on TV the whole time, so you can go. John's tough. We're not going to spend that much time on it anyway, so we can slide over after we click. Are we ready to go? All right. Well, good afternoon. It's another successful day in the city of Detroit. At 11 o'clock this morning, the U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Marcia Fudge, called me to tell me that the city of Detroit has been awarded a $30 million grant for the Choice Neighborhoods program for affordable housing, the largest grant the federal government can give out. And she wanted to offer her congratulations. When she told me that, I told her that, well, she had hired Arthur Jemison away from us as Undersecretary of HUD, and so this was a down payment, but she still owed us more. She agreed that Arthur is definitely worth it. But this is such a remarkable initiative. The Choice program was set up to take the old types of affordable housing project. We remember in Detroit as the Jeffries Project or the Brewster Projects, where everybody of low income was put into one high-rise together, and it became centers where people who were disadvantaged were packed in together and created far more ill effects than benefits. And the idea was to replace those types of units with a new concept where you build affordable housing, mixing it in with the rest of the neighborhood, that people of all incomes can live in the same neighborhood. That's what a city is all about. And so Detroit had never won a Choice grant, and we were looking for the right opportunity. And a while back, Julie Schneider came in and said, I've got the answer. Let's go into Corktown and apply for Choice. And when she said it, it was obvious to all of us that it was the right thing to do, because we have not had gentrification as it's defined, people of higher income pushing out people of lower income in the city of Detroit. Every analysis has shown Detroit's been one of the best cities in the country at preventing gentrification. But if there was an area we were starting to see it, it was Corktown. And it really came as a result of the Ford Motor Company announcing they were bringing 5,000 employees and contractors into that neighborhood, and rents started to go up immediately. And Ford is the most perfect partner you could have on this, because from the beginning, Bill Ford said, we want to be part of keeping the neighborhood available to everybody. In fact, Ford is actually making payments as part of their community benefits agreement to preserve affordable housing. And the CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, on his Saturdays, he lives in the city of Detroit, and on his Saturdays he's over at the Pope Francis Center volunteering with the homeless. So when we said to Ford, this is what we want to do, we want to make sure people of all incomes are in this neighborhood, they said, how could we be partners? And they have been terrific from the beginning. And so we laid out a plan where we said, let's build 800 new units across 4 neighborhoods, with more than 500 of them permanent subsidized housing. In fact, 20% of them will be so affordable that a couple making less than $19,000 a year can live in the neighborhood. People of all incomes will be here. This was our vision. And this is what we put forward. And you're going to hear from a lot of people today. But I just want Julie Schneider to raise her hand Julie, this is who we now refer to as the $30 million woman, because this was her vision, and it culminated today with the Secretary's phone call. So let me show you a little bit about what we've done and how we've got here, and then I'm going to turn this over to the experts. 841 new units, 500 affordable. The $30 million in federal money is going to bring in $216 million over the next 6 years. This is how you build this kind of scale. And when you got 5,000 jobs coming, you need hundreds of new units in the neighborhood if we're going to preserve the makeup that we want. So do our partners at Community Builders. ACD, you're going to hear from them who will be building this, the United Community Housing Coalition. That's been a partner every step of the way. The Ford Motor Company and Mishta, Gary Heidel and Governor Whitmer have been terrific partners. And of course, our congressional delegation, Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters and Rashida Tlaib and Brenda Lawrence, who backed us on this all the way. When everybody pulls together, you can end up with the largest award that can be legally given by the federal government. So here's the reality. The rents in Corktown have gone up 100%. At Clement Curtin Gardens, there is a long wait list in order to get in there, and Ford has definitely contributed to the success. So our plan is to have 4 different developments. So we'll have 120 units built by ACD, and that's going to start this summer in what's called left field. If you've been around as long as I have, you remember exactly where left field was when Tiger Stadium was there, but you're going to see that construction start this summer, and you can see significant affordable units. The Clement Kern Gardens is decades old. We're going to rebuild it new with an $80 million investment, and everybody who's been there is going to be guaranteed a spot there without their rents going up there. Our rents will always be based on their income. So we are watching out for the people who stayed. And I will say this over and over and over. A whole lot of people left this city, more than 200,000 in the first decade of this century. I was elected by the people who stayed. And our administration gets up every day and makes sure that those who stayed continue to have a really important place in this city. And in this case, they're going to be able to stay in their same homes, except they'll be made much better. The north of Michigan area, that will be another 170 units. And then something we haven't done in Detroit in a long, long time. In the North Corktown area up closer to Martin Luther King, we're going to take all kinds of vacant lot and build new houses filling in. 160 rentals and 30 that will be owned. And I want to thank Dr. Vitti and the Detroit Public School Board because we took the abandoned Owen School and we've worked out an agreement where it will become a community center at the center of this new neighborhood. This is the magnitude of what is being proposed. And the orchestra leader in this entire project, who all of these folks working together, he pulled together, managed to get us through the state bureaucracy, the federal bureaucracy, and a whole lot of group interactions, is our great leader of the Department of Housing and Revitalization, Donald Rencher. Donald?
Thank you, Mayor. This is an extremely happy day that we are experiencing here. Listen, we are trying to ensure that we are having vibrant, healthy neighborhoods across the city of Detroit, and it's inclusive. We want to invest in our neighborhoods and invest in our residents, and nothing shows that more than this grant today. I can tell you that what's fantastic about this program is that we're not only investing in to brick and mortar. The mayor went through that presentation. He talks about the development projects, but we know that we can't change neighborhoods or have impact on neighborhoods without thinking about the neighborhood infrastructure improvements and also the people. And we're investing a significant amount of money in the people. And this is one of the reasons I'm so proud of the Choice Neighborhoods grant and so proud of the people behind me. And we are ready to go. There's a lot of people who are involved to get this done, and I'll talk about it later. But I have to say that Julie Schneider, who is our current acting housing and revitalization director, she's been nothing short of amazing. She has led this team on this initiative, and she's going to go through the grant. And I couldn't be prouder of someone so talented, and I'm so happy that we have her on our team and in the city of Detroit. So, Julie, if you can talk about the Choice Grant a little bit more.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to Donald and the mayor for their kind words. So we're really excited to be here today and announce this big news. As the mayor mentioned, we've been awarded a $30 million Choice Neighborhoods Implementation Grant. The Choice Neighborhoods Implementation Grant is a highly competitive grant. This year, 20 cities applied, and 5 were awarded implementation grants. There are, I think, around 30, maybe just over 40 that have been awarded all time in the grant's history. So we're really proud to be able to join that group. Choice Neighborhoods is a program that helps cities invest in aging or assisted distressed housing. The grant enables the transformation of a neighborhood around the preservation and creation of affordable housing for people of all incomes, as well as creating neighborhood amenities and investing in services. And that's really what makes this grant unique. It's not just a housing grant that builds housing, but it builds people as well. And so it was really just something that we've been targeting for a long time, trying to identify the right opportunity, and we're thrilled that we are here today to be able to discuss the plan. So one of the keys to the plan is that you have to develop it with residents of what's called the target housing site. In this case, we're talking about Clement Kern Gardens. So for the past year and a half, we've been talking directly with residents, getting their input on their needs around housing, services, education, healthcare, and really helping us to develop that plan. As we had those meetings going out last year, identifying how we could engage safely with residents, really building relationships, and with those relationships, building certainly a sense of responsibility in the team that we had to deliver on this really unique opportunity, not only for the city and Greater Corktown, but the residents that we were working alongside for many months. As the mayor said, Clement Kern Gardens will be redeveloped. All of the residents of the current site will have the right to return. They'll have the right to choose whether or not they want to live in any of the other housing developments that the mayor said within the neighborhood. And that's another thing that really makes us unique, is we're able to provide housing that is really based on what the residents' needs and desires and where they want to live and be. In addition to the housing that the mayor described, new amenities will be developed throughout the neighborhood, really trying to add connectivity to the neighborhood. Along 14th Street, 10th Street, and 11th Street will be reconnected to the street grid, which was disconnected in the 1950s, as well as adding amenities to improve public safety on streets, adding and improving parks, such as Roosevelt Park, which will be improved as a part of this plan. And also the investment in the Owen Community School, the Owen site. So Owen School is a site that is currently vacant. The school, Owen School, stood on the site many years ago, but that will become the anchor of the North Corktown development, providing early childhood education services, as well as housing stability services, financial counseling services, just a complete package of services built for not only the residents of Clement Kerns, but all of the residents of Greater Corktown. And that center is actually a key delivery point for what's called the people portion of the plan, or the services portion. So also through the grant, and within just a couple months, we'll start working with residents to deliver healthcare and fitness education opportunities for both young children, middle school age children, up through adults, providing economic opportunities as well. So we're really excited to be able to be here and deliver this plan. And before I turn it back to Donald, I just want to thank and congratulate the core team that spent many nights, many weekends working on the team: Rebecca LeBove, Maria Masti, Sophia Merchant, Alexis Alexander, Katie Trudeau, Kevin Schrantz, Donald, of course, Donald Rencher. So just thank you to all of your work, and we're so glad to be here and look forward to implementing this grant alongside the residents. Thank you.
So Mayor, I like that name, $30 million lady. That's what I'm going to start calling Julie from now on in the office. That's right. Again, to repeat what Julie said, we can't do this without the residents, and we're going to hear from residents later on in the presentation. But when we were trying to figure out how we engage the residents, we thought no one would be better than Claudia Sanford from UCHC. She has been with us in so many battles when we're trying to ensure that we're saving our residents and ensuring that they have proper housing. And she's passionate about it. She was fantastic through this process, but we would love Claudia to say a couple of words as well. Claudia?
Thank you. I'm with the United Community Housing Coalition, and we have been a proud partner proud to be such a partner in this important project. As Julie and Donald just mentioned, that our role of UCHC was to do the tenant engagement. And over the last year, we held many tenant informational meetings to ensure that all tenants were aware of the Choice Neighborhood Initiative grant. The majority of the meetings were held at the Clement Kern grounds, giving tenants with families the greater access to the meetings. As COVID was a factor this year in tenant engagement, we designed the meetings as drop-in meetings to span over a 5-hour period, giving tenants the ability to socially distance and stay safe during this time. Every tenant who attended was able to have one-on-one sessions with the planners of the project to discuss and weigh in on various aspects of the project, such as housing design, early education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. Many of the plans for the CNI project were as a result of the tenant engagement, which allowed tenants to have a choice in the planning of their future community. After each meeting, newsletters were delivered door to door to tenants to keep them informed of the meeting and for those who were not able to attend the meetings. Winning this grant now ensures that all tenants at Clement Kern Gardens will have the opportunity to continue to live at the Clement Kern Gardens site and will not face displacement. And again, very proud to be a part of this project, and I thank everybody for their support and leadership on this. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Claudia. Next, I want to introduce to you one half of the development team, Mike Duggan, who comes from ACD, American Community Developers. He also brought his crew here. These are just fantastic developers that I've counted on and have known for quite some time since I was a lawyer at the Michigan State Housing Development Authority. Just fantastic ability and capacity to develop. And I'm glad they are making a commitment to the city of Detroit. I am very humbled and pleased that they provided their site as the main project that allowed us to apply for the Choice Neighborhoods grant. So Mike, if you could say a few words, it'd be great. Thank you.
I think you're going to hear some repetition, and that's because some of these things are so ingrained in the program, it's hard not to make some comments that you're going to hear from everybody tonight, or today. Today does mark an important milestone in the city and for Corktown, and most importantly for the residents of Clement Kern Gardens. The history of Clement Kern Apartments align with the vision of a local priest in the community who's named Father Clement Kern, from where the property gets its name. And Father Kern was known as the priest of the people, and his ministry really focused on the dignity of every human person. So today's announcement is a continuation of that same vision, and it's in that same community. And last year, we began the ongoing community meetings with the residents of Clement Kern. And this community-driven effort will create more housing options for residents in the area, both in the affordable, workforce, and market rate. This is the very core idea behind the Choice Grant, and it's providing more housing choices within the neighborhood. Existing residents at Clement Kern will have the option to remain in one of the new units that are redeveloped at the site, as you've already heard, or at their choice, they can choose another site across anywhere in the greater Corktown area that's part of the Choice Neighborhood program. And that area includes the left field development that the mayor mentioned, where we will be breaking ground this summer on this side of the former Tiger Stadium. The best part about all of this is as long as existing residents continue to remain qualified, their rent will continue to be based on their income just as it is today. And that's for all 87 households in Clement Kern. And this is something that we've committed to at ACD, and the mayor and the city have committed to, and we are going to make happen. I want to say congratulations to the mayor and to everyone on the city's team that we've worked with that helped put this grant together. Congratulations to Jerry and to the rest of the ACD team, and also to our friends over at TCB. But most importantly, congrats to the residents at Clement Kern. And we look forward to working with you to make sure that Corktown remains a neighborhood for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Next, I'm going to introduce you to the second half of the team. I'm not trying to put them in order versus best. But TCB, nationally known developer, came in, even had experience with Choice Neighborhoods. They've lent their expertise, and we're excited for them to be on our team and look forward to their partnership and development. We have Armis and we have Jeff here to make a couple of comments, and I'll pass it over to our second half of the team.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Armis Williams with TCB, and we are so excited to be here and partner with the City of Detroit and ACB as development housing developers. And we are developing in the City of Detroit 371 affordable housing units in this plan, and it is to meet the demands of the community, the North Corktown community, of inclusiveness, of revitalizing their area, and we're just so excited to be a part of this plan. We are the lead housing agency along with ADC. I am the development project manager that will see the development through from the beginning to the end. And again, TCB, again, it's just so excited. I have Jeff here, who will talk a little bit more about the people strategy.
Thanks, Armis, and thanks to everyone else. We are so thrilled to be part of this team and to be working in Detroit. Detroit is a place, it's a city that we've recognized all these ingredients of just transformative, ambitious thinking, commitment to the principles that make great neighborhoods, that make great places for people to live and work and go about their lives. That's a set of principles that we bring as an organization, so we felt like we fit right in from the first day we joined this team. As Armis said, we are the co-housing lead on this with ACD and looking forward to getting our first phases underway in North Corktown. But we're also what is known as the people lead, which is to say that there's an entire tapestry of partners and stakeholders and agencies that are invested in the people of Corktown, and they're going to bring education supports and safety strategies and health strategies and all sorts of supports that help residents be included, be more independent, be fully thriving within the new Corktown as the neighborhood transforms. And so our team is experienced in doing that in other places, and we bring not only that experience, but that certainty that when all these ingredients come together in the right way, the residents at the end feel safer, feel more included, feel better connected to opportunity, and we're so excited to get that work done here in Corktown. Thanks a lot.
So next, I have to say, none of this probably would have started, and we've, going down the road of trying to do this project if we did not have the large investment from Ford. I can't even explain the magnitude of their investment coming to Detroit, bringing employment to the city, and their large investment here. And because of that, you see a lot of people wanting to move to Corktown, and it was their investment that spurred the idea, I know from Julie, who came to talk to me and say, listen, we should try for Choice Neighborhoods here. But it was not only their investment in the city in trying to ensure workforce possibilities here in the city of Detroit. But it was also their commitment through our community benefits ordinance, which they've given a substantial contribution for continued affordable housing and also home repairs and other various aspects of community benefits. And they've carried through the entire time, and even providing some land opportunities in which the development will be built on. You have to have partners of that magnitude be here in the city of Detroit, and we're glad that Ford is here with us. I'm going to introduce Mary Cullors to the microphone to give a couple comments. Thank you so much.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It really is an important and exciting day. I hope everyone understands the amount of collaboration that it takes to pull something like this off. And when we did the HUD interview, I was actually so amazed by the depth and breadth of the partnerships. And so I really want to commend the mayor and Julie, of course, and her team, because there is no better city than the city of Detroit and the team that works at the city. So I want to thank them. We are an anchor partner, and we felt that it was important to be that right from the get-go. We're doing a very huge transformational project in the area, which is all about creating this innovation district around mobility. And we know that access to mobility is an incredibly important part of creating economic and social mobility. But one of the things that the community talked about was they wanted workforce development opportunities, and they were very concerned about housing. And I have to tell you, as someone who works with a team to bring this to life, the number one thing that keeps me up at night is how do we do this in an equitable way? So when the city came to us and started talking about this project, there was just no better opportunity to partner so that we can really put housing at the forefront of this entire opportunity. We're not housing experts. We are going to bring mobility solutions to the community, and we're going to be providing access. I always like to remind people that this is not a Ford campus. This is really about bringing the best and the brightest to this area to solve urban challenges. And one of the biggest urban challenges that we have to solve is when we bring 5,000 employees into a community, how do we do that equitably? And so this grant, I think, is going to put us on the right track to really think about housing, prioritize housing, and we couldn't be more proud to be a part of this. And it feels great to win. I'm sure the city feels that way. And once again, I just want to commend everybody for doing this, and we just can't wait to be a partner in this effort. Thank you.
All right. We saved the best for last, and after that, I'll provide some more thank yous. But this is really about our residents, our Detroit residents. And I tell developers all the time, if you want to build in the city of Detroit, you have to talk to the community, and our residents are feisty, and our residents are passionate about their community. And I could tell you that Ms. Thomas and Torian were people that I saw at every community meeting, and lent us their voices and made sure that they were heard. But I told both of them we couldn't have done this without you. This is yours. And I'm extremely happy that they're here to provide a couple comments. I'm going to pass it to Ms. Thomas first, and then we'll go to Torian. But just want to pass the mic to you.
Thank you. I am a resident of Clement Gardens. I've been there for 19 years. I represent the senior power, okay? This is not my first go-around with this type of situation, but this is the best go-around because the first time I was not at the meetings, I did not participate. And so when I met the ladies and the gentlemen from the Choice Awards, they were inviting, they welcomed me. They made me feel like this is where you should be because these are things that you need to know. So I want to say that being in the planning and just communicating with them and seeing them all the time, I think they're family. And in any case, though, we are very excited at Clement Gardens for what's going to be happening. We see our neighborhood building up. And so we know now that it's our turn to do the same thing. And so in that, I'll say thank you, and I'm honored for being here. Bye.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody on the team behind Mike Duggan, the mayor's team, the staff, Mike Essien, who committed to doing this regardless of whether we got this or not, but thank God we got it. But I want to say this isn't just a win for the people of Clement Gardens. This isn't just a win for the city of Detroit. This is a win for affordable housing everywhere, because Detroit is going to show you how to do affordable housing the right way. For so long, we've had affordable housing where it's just a pocket of poverty. And now this is going to be something where there's a mixed development that is how it's supposed to be done. And I'd like to thank everybody so much, because this means so much more to me than just having somewhere to live. My family's here, my mother, my aunt, my cousins. Like, I have family that have been here since one side of the complex was a stack of wood. So my mom was the only person to live in her apartment, and has been the only person to live in her apartment since the building of Clement Gardens. So this is something very, very special to me. I really appreciate it. I grew up doing community service and working in the community. And when these guys came into the community to present what they were going to be doing, I mean, I don't think they could have done it in a better way, in a more inclusive way. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. And I look forward to the development, but I look forward to the future of housing and the future of how this is done across the country. So also thank you to everyone in the federal government who decided to pick us to do this. We're going to show you how to do this right. Thank you.
All right. So you heard from some portions of the team, and thank you again. Wanted to point out just a couple more people. The mayor got to a lot of them. Julie got to a lot of them, but the planning department, the Dons, some of our special people that worked on this every day. We already mentioned Sophia, Kelly Vickers. We want to thank MISTA, MEDC, the Detroit Housing Commission, Detroit at Work. Nicole's an excellent leader and was provided her her expertise to this. The Detroit Public Schools, the Detroit Land Bank that helped us identify those properties that we're building on. Wayne State, of course, the mayor and his leadership, who just lets us go and move and really live out the vision that we see for the city of Detroit. And Julie Schneider, again, I just want to say how amazing she is, and want to thank the Clement Kern residents. You all were just fantastic. This is a win for you all, and I can't wait to get started. So thank you very much. And I don't think there's any questions because I don't see anybody.
No, actually, we do have a few questions from.
I gotta try that, Donald. I don't see any question. Be like Donald Trump with a helicopter, just drift off.
All right, Mayor Nusrat Rahman from the Free Press wanted to know about the additional funding that this is leveraging. The press release mentioned something about $1 billion kind of backing this as well. And so if someone could talk a little bit more about where that comes from.
I think that they're counting the $750 million of Ford and then all of the other investment in the housing. I don't know if Julie, if you want to go through the details of the numbers.
So I can just speak briefly about how we get to those numbers. So what the grant wants you to do is be working in neighborhoods where there's a lot of other activity going on. So HUD's investment is kind of leveraging lots of other activity, and that work is also benefiting the residents. So yes, so we're talking about Ford's investment, but we're also talking about the many organizations that Jeff spoke about that will be providing healthcare, fitness, education, economic opportunity. The kind of value of all of that work will be going into the neighborhood and serving the residents as well.
Great. So kind of to summarize, so in total about $1 billion of investment going into this neighborhood in various forms.
Yeah, I believe the specific calculation is $1,005,000,000 was the total on it.
All right. Okay. Another question here about affordable housing in general, that this is great news about Corktown, but that's not the limit of the city's efforts on affordable housing. So if you can talk a little bit about what the city is doing for other neighborhoods as well in general.
Sure, of course. So In every neighborhood throughout the city, as we're doing planning work, we're identifying developments to both preserve, affordable housing developments to preserve, meaning to extend their affordability, reinvest in them, bringing them more current, and updating their kitchens, baths, et cetera. Also developing new housing. So in the past 5 years, we've preserved, I believe, 4,400 existing affordable housing units and developed, I believe, 800 additional new affordable housing units. So this work is this certainly is what we're doing in Corktown, but in every neighborhood across the city, we're working with neighborhood groups, we're working through the planning studies, we're also working with developers to preserve and develop additional housing.
Okay, one more question that might be for Julie or somebody else. Can you talk a little bit more about the homeownership aspect of the plan and how we're helping to create more homeowners?
Yes, so the plan includes 40 units of new housing that will be available for homeownership. So we'll be working with both residents of Clement Gardens that might be interested in homeownership, as well as other residents of the area that might be interested in homeownership, providing homeownership counseling courses at the Community Empowerment Center that I mentioned earlier, really preparing people for successful homeownership. And so there will be homeownership available for households at 60% of area median income, 80% and 120. So it'll be affordable homeownership, and we'll be really looking to make sure that residents of the area, and especially Clement Gardens, are able to benefit from that.
Great. And last question we have is for Mary Culler from Ford. Can you elaborate a little bit on what the nature of Ford's participation in this project was and how it helped get it across the finish line?
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, housing was always something that was on our minds, and like I said, we're not an expert in this area, so we really wanted to always think about partnering with someone on housing. So it was always our intent, potentially, to think about how we did that. And so when this opportunity came to us, we were happy to donate property for the building of this housing, because it is a very important priority for the community, and so it was incredibly important that we provide that particular property so we could go about building the housing.
Okay, great. And that is actually our last question. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.